Do you know what the most earthquake-resistant building material in the world is? In the simulated scene, we see 6 different types of buildings: mud houses, brick houses, unreinforced concrete houses, steel structure houses, reinforced concrete houses, and wooden houses. Let's see how they react to earthquakes of different magnitudes. A magnitude 4.2 earthquake is one of the most severe earthquakes that will wake most indoor residents in their sleep. From the simulated scenario, the houses built with Wugangjin concrete showed obvious shaking during the earthquake. The mud-built houses also had chairs on the roof that toppled over due to the earthquake. However, overall, these building materials did not show any significant damage. In a 5.1 magnitude earthquake, most people would feel a strong shaking that makes it hard to stand. In the simulated scene, we can observe that the brick-structured houses began to collapse from all sides under the tremors, revealing their vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, the left side of the mud houses showed clear cracks, which undoubtedly highlights the weaknesses of both brick and mud materials when faced with such conditions. Although the concrete house also experienced significant shaking during the earthquake, it did not suffer any substantial damage. A 5.6 magnitude earthquake is a magnitude 5.6 earthquake. Although the increase of 0.5 magnitude may seem small, its destructive power has crossed an important threshold. This magnitude of earthquake is particularly significant in houses with brick and mud structures. In the simulated scenario, all 6 buildings shook significantly, and the houses built of brick and mud could not withstand the powerful force of the earthquake, and collapsed one after another. Even houses made of concrete are not spared, as their walls begin to show cracks. In a 6.1 magnitude earthquake, most buildings will experience varying degrees of damage, and many people will find it difficult to walk, feeling their bodies shake and jolt. In the simulated scene, both mud houses and brick structures struggle to withstand the power of the earthquake, and ultimately collapse. While concrete buildings perform more stably compared to the other 2 materials during an earthquake, they still cannot withstand this level of quake. The other 3 types of houses, although their indoor furniture experienced noticeable shaking during the earthquake, fortunately, their structures remained solid without any significant damage. In a 6.8 magnitude earthquake, the shaking is enough to cause people who are walking to lose their balance and fall to the ground. And even the iron tracks on the ground can show signs of bending due to the intense vibrations. In the simulated video, we can see houses made of mud and bricks and unreinforced concrete collapsing one after another. While wooden houses may seem sturdy, those with more than 2 stories suffer severe deformation, making them almost uninhabitable for workers. In contrast, houses built with steel structures or reinforced concrete, although they also experience intense shaking, remain standing. In a 7.5 magnitude earthquake, people will feel a strong sense of being thrown off balance, and many houses will suffer severe damage, or even be completely destroyed, with some rocks and mountains experiencing large-scale collapses. In the simulated scene, we can see that the reinforced concrete structures also begin to collapse. The wooden houses are left with only their wooden frames. Although the steel-structured houses did not completely collapse during the earthquake, their stability has significantly decreased, and they are at risk of collapsing at any moment. Among all building materials, steel structures remain the most effective for resisting earthquakes. However, if the earthquake reaches a magnitude of 8 or higher, any building material will suffer catastrophic damage. This really drives home the terrifying extent of earthquake disasters.